Menu narration option is set to off. Menu narration option is set to off.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were losers last time out, but winners of 7 of 9 prior to that. Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a handoff looking right. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he finds McLaurin. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Haskins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now they try the right side here. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd and a yard. Haskins. That's complete right around the 8. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. The quick slant caught. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it? And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, and he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Darius Leonard in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Geis. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Powers through him, fights him off. Yet again, just a bruising carry. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is for the moment. The 6th seed is theirs, but it will take nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing. Prescott. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
55. Pick me up. Here we go.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at about the 28. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. Now, looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like blocking for a 3,000-yard or 4,000-yard passer. So it's a lot of pride on the line, and his pride is paramount because he wants to be able to join that pantheon of guys that in the NFL ran for 1,000 yards or more in a season.
Pride on the line. I see what you did there.
You like that?
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on fourth. And they'll indeed go for it with Haskins. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about that. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. And no luck at all to start this drive as they're going to drop him behind the line for a second straight play. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Darius Leonard racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. The throw by Haskins complete to McLaurin. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Complete to his tight end, Seth DeValve. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Over the middle, it's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by a Darius Geis touchdown run. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground again here. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 30, past the 20, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camp.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down. Haskins looking to throw on first down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give, right side, it's Geis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Back to the ground on first, it's Geis. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by a Darius Geis touchdown run. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They go right back to Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Derrius Guice. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 39 yards there, a big one.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Singletary again. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. It'll only be a gain of 1 yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. It's caught by Herndon. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there he knew.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Darius Leonard in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Back now in Arlington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trip. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Darius Leonard, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
His throw caught at about the 5. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down. Now Haskins to throw it, and he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw, Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. From a yard out. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Looking to throw. Prescott into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot.
No,
okay.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The tight end set to valve the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Haskins will throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? we need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the play.
Let's go. Let's do it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel real. And now Prescott is going to be taken down. He couldn't get away, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And here come the Redskins now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Running it here with Peyton. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From midfield now, Haskins. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. Haskins going to try to throw it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Here's Haskins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. To throw again on second down. Haskins. He's got it. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Throwing again, here's Haskins. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Watch left. You got three down.
One last shot now for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Redskins, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Dallas, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card.